It's like, someone on social media is calling you a crown straightener. I said, what's that? She said, a woman who goes around straightening other women's crowns. And I was just like, oh, it was just like the best compliment I've ever been given.
I know this is my third video on this topic in a row, but when I say the updates keep on coming, they keep on coming. What has gone on? Because, so not only do we know that there has been brewing tension, not even brewing, just like full on, tingling tension going on with the cast of It Ends With Us between the author, Blake Lively, the director, Justin Baldoni. There has been so much tension. Justin Baldoni, he hasn't been featured with Blake. Blake is over here making out this film to be this rom-com, even though it's not. She's marketing it in a really horrible way. A lot of people are very annoyed at her.
J-Lo, is that you?
Jump into this, and Blake, I'm going to start with you. Most of us, if we're lucky enough to run into a celebrity in public, we only have a few moments to maybe speak with you guys. But on a deeply personal level, they're really going to want to talk to you. This movie is going to affect people, and they're going to want to tell you about their lives. So if someone understands the themes of this movie, comes across you in public, and they want to really talk to you, what's the best way for them to be able to talk to you about this? How would you recommend they go about it?
Like asking for like my address or my phone number or like my location share. Or I could just location share you, and then we could I'm just
Social security.
I'm a Virgo, so I'm like, are we talking logistics? Are we talking emotionally?
That wasn't the question.
She's using this moment to promote her hair mask, her hair care products, whatever's going on. I will be so surprised if she manages to push a serious amount of units after what has now happened. In my last video, we were talking about the fact that an alleged source says that the reason why the cast aren't speaking to Justin Baldoni, the director, is because he was apparently he was chauvinistic and borderline abusive on the set. That is where we are now. Please go and watch 1 and 2 because it dives into way more detail. So not only have we got Blake now responding and making a little post on her Instagram after all this time of promoting her hair and her Britney Versace dress, and grab your florals, let's have a girly time, let's drink some mimosas. She didn't actually say that, but that was the vibe she was going down when she's been promoting this film.
Lily Bloom is, oh, look at me in flowers, Lily Bloom. It's neoprene. They just like go deep sea diving in it.
Now finally makes an Instagram post all about what this film's about. So she finally makes an Instagram post to address a few things. So we're gonna be doing that. We have Justin Baldoni, the director, okay? He has hired some of Johnny Depp's ex-legal team, hired Melissa Nathan, who is a PR crisis lawyer who used to work alongside Johnny Depp. We have Blake Lively saying more stuff. We've got a lot to go through. We also have people who used to work alongside Justin Baldoni basically saying that this guy is great. Like, I don't understand what's going on.
That's who Justin is. He's a good guy. He's a sweet guy. He's a super soulful guy. And that's why it really frustrates me, and it makes me sad to see him in this position.
Got a lot to get through today. Deep breaths, everyone. Let's just make this happen. So we've got, first off, Blake Lively. Blake Lively finally graced us with a Instagram post saying 1 in 4 women aged 18 and older in the US alone have been the victim of severe physical violence by an intimate partner in their lifetime. Intimate partner violence affects all genders, including more than 12 million people every year in the United States. Everyone deserves relationships free from domestic violence. The National Domestic Violence Hotline provides confidential support 24/7, 365. So I'm meaning all the time around the year. To access the hotline or to learn more, click the link below for immediate help. Start to 88788. The link. Now, can people still be annoyed that she's only now saying something because she's going to get backed into a corner and her and Ryan Reynolds' career is going to be, Will and Jada Pinkett Smith? Yeah. I do think people do still have a right to be annoyed. Does that mean that, this means nothing? Absolutely not. But she has had ample opportunity to do this kind of stuff, whereas the director, Justin Baldoni, who, Blake is alleging is this horrible person, has been doing this from the very start, even prior to, at the start, the making of this film. He's been very passionate about this.
I knew that if we could find a way to adapt it, which we knew wasn't going to be easy, then we had the potential to impact millions of lives.
This is like a passion project for him, do you know what I mean? Whereas Blake is just, she's not treated it the same. And this doesn't seem like it was written by Blake. This seems like this was a PR thing this was. But I'm still happy that she's done it, and who knows, her sending that link could actually genuinely help somebody. Steps in the right direction. But I'm still going to be cynical. I will still be cynical and say that I don't think Blake wrote this, and obviously she was going to have to do something like this eventually. Otherwise, like I said, her and Ryan's career would be down the toilet, which is very, wouldn't make a lot of people very happy, the directors and producers of films, since both of them have big movies out at the minute. Do you know what I mean? Like, they've got to say something, they've got to do something, and this is what she decided to do.
Over here, that's such a weird flex. So make it really obvious that I'm late. No, it's only because I was doing interviews
like
for this
literally
movie.
1 minute. Yeah. We're on the first
But look how
question.
cute my cup is.
Moving on to point number 2, we have Justin Baldoni, who has decided to hire legal counsel. He has sought legal counsel. As the headline reads, Justin Baldoni hires crisis PR veteran amid alleged "it ends with us" rift. I don't think it's alleged anymore. I really don't. Unless there's just someone messing with us, I don't think it's alleged. This is too much. There's no way that this is happening in, blockbuster Hollywood movie with massive producers, directors, and actors and actresses. There's no way that they would let this happen. Why would anyone want to taint their reputation like this? But Justin Baldoni has hired veteran PR crisis manager Melissa Nathan amid the release of It Ends With Us, the adaptation of Colleen Hoover's 2016 hit book, The Hollywood Reporter has learned. It then goes on to say that, fans started noticing the absence of Baldoni and that they wouldn't be featured together. Sources have told THR that there was a fracture between Baldoni and Lively in the post-production stage, wherein 2 different cuts of the movie emerged. Lively commissioned a cut of the movie from editor Shane Reed, who was an editor on Deadpool and Wolverine, according to multiple sources. Why would she do that? Oh yeah, because of her husband Ryan Reynolds, of course. It was unclear if any of this cut was ultimately used in the final project, which was credited to editors Una, I'm really sorry I can't pronounce your last name, and Rob Sullivan. The hiring at the agency group comes as Baldoni has been the subject of negative headlines over allegations that he made Lively uncomfortable on set. Throughout promos and interviews in the last week, Baldoni has been vocal about Lively's creative contribution to the movie. The filmmaker has also said that he took a step back at times on set to let the woman take charge, given that the film is told from a woman's perspective and focuses on the sensitive issue of domestic violence. So that's what's happened there. I also managed to find, there has been quite a few, but here's one that I screenshotted. Because maybe I have inserted others in the post-production making of this very small YouTube video. But this is what someone who worked with Justin for I think he said about 6 or 7 years.
I've been seeing all the Justin, Blake, It Ends With Us drama going back and forth, and I just wanted to kind of hop on and give my perspective. I produced a movie called Clouds that Justin directed. It was the last movie that he did, so I was in the trenches with him for 6-7 years trying to get this movie made. So I have a perspective on Justin. Blake's sister dated my best friend. I'm not sure if that really gives me any kind of unique perspective, but I've seen a couple things kind of, popping, across my social media, just bashing Justin a little bit about, he made her uncomfortable on set and stuff. I just think that's all nonsense. I mean, Justin he gets up in the morning and all he wants to do is do good. All he wants to do is change the world. All he wants to do is make it a better place. That's who he is. He's not about ego. He's not about money. He's not about trying to further his fame. He is a guy that wants to use his platform to change the world and make it better. I mean, when I met him, he was doing My Last Days shorts that were bringing awareness to cancer and showing inspiring and creating inspiring stories. That's who he is. Go check out Clouds. You'll get a sense of what that movie's about and all the hard work we put into it. And he's a good guy. He's a sweet guy. He's a super soulful guy. And that's why it really frustrates me, and it makes me sad to see him in this position. Let's hope that, everyone can kind of understand that there's no villains in this kind of situation. It's just 2 opposing creative forces that are super passionate, had their own ideas on what they wanted to make, what movie they wanted to make. Let's hope that at some point they can hug it out. They can put their differences aside, because they're both extremely talented individuals, and it'd be nice to see them kind of make up.
Not wanting to speak ill will of either, and he thinks that both Blake and Justin are very creative. They're very, they're very, very talented at what they do, and they've just butted heads. Just, a squabble in the post-production phase. Why is, let's be honest, I'm fairly sure it is Blake and Ryan that are going around and saying this stuff about Justin. I don't believe it was a source. I believe it was a source that was either planted from Blake or it is literally Blake herself. There's been 2 other headlines that have come out which go into more detail explaining what has happened. Came out from the Daily Mail, which I refer to as the Daily Fail. It says, Blake Lively makes barbed statement on intimacy safety amid claims Justin Baldoni made her uneasy during filming It Ends With Us. Actress 36 seemingly threw shade at her co-star and director Justin Baldoni and amid claims that he made her feel uneasy and there was tension on the movie set. In an interview with Digital Spy published on Saturday, Lively dished about working with intimacy coordinators for passionate physical contact scenes in the new romantic drama. Talking to the outlet, she called attention to the importance of having intimacy coordinators working with the cast on set to choreograph those on-screen actions safely. Her seemingly veiled comments come after claims emerged that Baldoni made her feel uneasy during filming.
Well, that's a nice question. I think it's critical to have an intimacy coordinator. You coordinate stunts, you coordinate dancing. It's choreography. So to be able to say, this was what happens here, here, and here in a stunt, and this is what happens here, here, and here in a dance. But now you guys just go be, put your bodies together and your mouths and whatever, and just action and cut. That's sort of ridiculous. So I think that being choreographed is critical for everyone's safety.
I have one over here. It says rumors arise that there's bad blood between It Ends With Us director and lead actor Justin Baldoni and his co-star and co-producer Blake Lively. Justin Baldoni, who recently reportedly hired Johnny Depp's crisis PR manager, may now have an idea what he's fighting against. A TMZ report claims his It Ends With Us co-star Blake Lively has been privately levelling harassment allegations against the actor-filmmaker. The report states that Blake has been telling people that Justin allegedly fat-shamed her. The context was that he had to lift Blake in a scene, but since he's had lasting back issues, he inquired with the on-set trainer how much she weighed so that he could prepare accordingly. We're told this comment really bothered Blake, gave birth to her and her husband Ryan Reynolds' 4th child in February 2023. Another incident from the set that bothered Blake was an intimate scene in which Blake felt he lingered longer than he should have with the kiss. The report also claimed that their co-stars and crew have agreed that the two aren't on the same page anymore, but some of them also lent support to Justin, who is being painted as the problem. There's also a narrative that this is just a gimmick to keep the film in the news. I don't know. Who the hell would want this sort of bad publicity? Who would want that? Otherwise, they've literally got us hook, line and sinker. I don't understand why anyone would want this. So I don't want to, if this is true or this is what she's saying, I don't want to dismiss the way that she's feeling. I'm trying to explain it from my own perspective. I think that if you did have issues with your back, you know, you would kind of want to know like how heavy someone is before you just go and lift them up, because you don't want to pull your back out. That's just what I think. But, you know, I don't know if that's fat shaming someone just to, you know, just to ask like, hey, how light are they? Just so I know, you know, to brace myself or whatever. I don't know. I wouldn't classify that as fat shaming. I feel like fat shaming would be like finding out and then putting them down because of that, not just inquiring because, you know, you need to. If you're doing a scene which requires you to lift someone up, you know, you would kind of want to know. Some people are heavier than they actually look. I know for a fact that I am heavier than I look. So I would understand fully if someone went to inquire. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think that that is fat shaming? Because I wouldn't put that in that camp. The kiss thing, I don't know. I don't want to sit here and just be like, oh, I'm dismissing her feelings if this is genuine. But then you also have to go off what a lot of other people have been saying in their kind of support for him. It just gets really, really, really messy with trying to work out, obviously, you know, you don't want to dismiss someone's feelings, but then at the same time, you're just kind of thinking about it from like a broader perspective. Or maybe it's a mixture of both. Who really knows?
Playing a character of any kind, you have to find a place to connect to that role and that anger that he had. But there's no excuse for that kind of behaviour. So you just have to see it as a job. I mean, Justin Baldoni's a good friend of mine, and he asked me to do this role, and he's like, this is a tough role to do, and it's, he does horrible things. So it was a real challenge. I will say that. It was a real challenge. It was very uncomfortable to shoot those scenes, but it's an important message. Why when I read the script, I thought it was so powerful and so beautiful. I have a really important message of hope about breaking these patterns, about transformation and about empowerment. And so Justin do this and want me to do it, of course I'll do it. I'll do it for you as my friend, but also for the message of the film.
If they actually put together, papers and things, this is going to get seriously messy. This is going to be, extremely messy. And I never would have thought that this would come out of like a big like Hollywood blockbuster movie, or maybe I just don't watch enough movies, but I wouldn't have thought that anyone would want this kind of PR nightmare hanging over them. I would love to hear everyone's thoughts and feelings on this. We have Justin Baldoni, who's hiring Johnny Depp's PR crisis people. We have Blake Lively, who's saying that she felt fat shamed and that she felt uncomfortable during the intimate movie scenes. Simply don't know. I don't really know what to think, but I would love to hear everyone's thoughts and feelings about this. Please have a wonderful day wherever you are in this world. Take care of each other, take care of yourselves, and I will catch up with you guys in the next video.